I know how this sounds. Patrick Mahomes, ACL tear, blessing in disguise? What? But if you actually care about longevity, evolution, and legacy, this might end up actually being the moment that extends Patrick Mahomes' legacy, not ends it. And I want to explain why. What's going on, YouTube people? Welcome back to the channel, guys. And in today's video, I have a very interesting video, okay? So I made a couple videos in the past talking about how I think we're seeing kind of a Patrick Mahomes regression that no one really wants to talk about because it's Patrick Mahomes, of course. He's the best quarterback in the league. But it's been kind of something that you want to keep an eye on. And it actually got so bad, they missed the playoffs this year, right? But at the end of the year, he just tore his ACL. What does this mean going forward? Well, you're about to see why this actually might be a good thing. So let's get right into the video. The first reason why I think it's a blessing in disguise is because I think this kind of gives Mahomes a forced reset that he would have probably never taken in his career. I've been saying this for a couple years. The talent gap between Patrick Mahomes and the rest of the NFL was so great that you're obviously going to get these long playoff runs because he's just that good. He probably has the highest peak of talent we've ever seen in the NFL, in NFL history. Come with that with Andy Reid's play calling and Spagnuolo on defense, you're going to have a dynasty right there, right? I mean, look at these throws that he's making. The one that always stands out to me is the Tampa Bay throw where it's probably the greatest incomplete pass of all time. How many quarterbacks in the league history are making that throw, man? The thing is, he was doing this literally week in and week out. How can you beat that, right? How can you beat that? But as you get older, you know what I'm saying, that you're not going to be able to do all that because your body catches up to you, the scrambling, the running around, taking all these hits, you know what I'm saying? So once that talent disparity starts to level off, it started here, it started off probably when he came into the league, the talent disparity was here and the rest of the NFL is over here, right? But now as he's getting older, you know, he drops off a little bit, the rest of the NFL is up here now. So it's not that easy, and you're gonna have seasons like this, and that probably would keep going on until he hurt his ACL. His scrambling, off-platform throws, and improvisation have been so elite, he's been able to override all these bad habits for years. Unnecessary hits, extended plays, trusting athleticism instead of structure, that works until it doesn't. I mean, when have you ever seen Mahomes 1, 2, 3 drop back, boom, balls out, right? That's why Brady was able to play for 20 years at a high level, Peyton Manning at a high level, you know, even Aaron Rodgers, although he was a scrambler, still he was a very in-structure quarterback. That's why it's very hard for Mahomes to keep his play style up. And I know this is about to sound crazy, but hear me out. We've seen this exact arc with Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson had the same exact play style as Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is way better. The scrambling in the backfield, the back air football, just running around for 15 minutes behind the line of scrimmage until boom, 50-yard bomb. Same exact thing we've seen with Patrick Mahomes coming out of his career. The thing is, obviously, Mahomes was so much more talented than Russell Wilson that you saw for longer. They could have had a dynasty. Remember, people forget they could have had a dynasty too. If they ran the football, that's back-to-back Super Bowls. You never know what they do with the Legion of Boom, right? So it's crazy how you look at it from that aspect. Honestly, in my opinion, Mahomes is probably never going to voluntarily slow down. And the thing is, for Russell Wilson, remember, he never got hurt, so he never really had to train himself to be okay. 1, 2, 3 step, boom, balls out, right? He just kept playing like that, playing that until the regression was so imminent. Now look at him, he's getting blackballed, talking about he's not a Hall of Famer, right? That's obviously Mahomes is not going to go off down that path because he's way too good. But it's a similar type of arc that we're seeing. An ACL tear, what that does is it's gonna force him to make a reset. Look, a rehab process, what that's gonna do is he's gonna literally have to look at himself in the mirror and be okay, do I really want this? Because if he does, he's gonna attack the offseason like crazy. He's probably gonna be in the best shape he's ever been. I mean, he has a dad bod, guys. He has a dad bod. Think about it. He might get abs, you know what I'm saying? He's probably gonna be in the most fit he's ever been. Really take care of all the lingering injuries that he never really had to, because why does it matter? I'm gonna be the Super Bowl anyways, right? It's going to eliminate probably bad habits. He's going to come back leaner, stronger, more efficient, rebuild his lower body, fix movement mechanics. These things are all real things. It happened with Brady too. He came back in the best shape of his life after his ACL tear. And honestly, that's how elite players reset before a decline comes in. So the second reason why I think it's good, that I already alluded to a little bit earlier in the video, is that this is going to force Mahomes to have a different type of evolution. Look, let's be real, guys. Mahomes has never needed to evolve yet. Since the second he became a starter, it's low-key became his league, right? He was just running around, you know what I'm saying, balls out here, diving, throwing, left hand, behind the back, you know what I'm saying? He's doing shit that we've never seen before. He was never going to need to have to evolve until aggression comes in or he gets hurt. The gap between him and the rest of the NFL was so big. Why would you even need to oh my God, I got to change my game, right? But the injury is probably going to need to do it. He's not going to be able to scramble as much as he wanted to. He's not going to be able to run and extend plays as much as he wanted to. He's going to have to be able to rely on his arm and his pre-snap. Guys, he is probably the best post-snap reader I've ever seen in my life. Usually we talk about Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers. We talk about them as pre-snap masters. They are able to identify what coverage the defense is in, where to attack it, where the zone is in the defense, where my man beaters are. Patrick Mahomes didn't need to do all that. He just whatever the defense is, he's gonna take a snap. Okay. He's gonna run and then make a play. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's gonna change now. We're gonna see more of quick throws out of Mahomes' hands, right down the middle, probably. More structure, on timing plays, all these things I think is going to really happen when he comes back, which is, in my opinion, if he does it correctly, which I think he can, that's scary for the NFL because that's the hardest type of quarterback to stop. And combo that with his arm talent, which is just, his arm talent is crazy. It could be scary hours. And like I keep saying with Brady, this is how you extend your career, man. You less time in the pocket, you know what I'm saying? Balls out quicker, you can play longer like that. And like I keep saying, bringing up Tom Brady. Reason number 3 is I'm gonna call it the Tom Brady blueprint. The reason why Brady was able to play at a high level for so long, it wasn't because he was the fastest, the strongest, the biggest, you know, maybe actually he was like one of the toughest. I ain't gonna lie, underrated tough. But it's because he was just 1, 2, 3 step, boom, balls out. Right? And when you're able to do stuff like that, you can play at a high level. Pocket passing is the most sustainable way to play quarterback. Like all these scramblers and stuff like that, we're gonna see pretty soon. We're gonna see quarterbacks have a way less of a prime lifetime in the NFL. It's just like the Josh Allens, the Jaden Daniels, you know what I'm saying? These quarterbacks coming in that are just scramblers. You're not gonna be able to, like Lamar Jackson, your prime is not gonna be able to go for that long. That's just the reality situation. Like Tom Brady was still in his prime in his like 40s, right? Obviously that's rare, that's a different story, but like Peyton Manning's still in his prime like at 35, right? So it's just it's hard to extend your career if you're a scrambler and a runner. But what an ACL injury does is it gives you just that. It's gonna make you develop. For my last point that I really think is interesting is the dynasty aspect of it, the dynasty reset. Okay, everyone always wants to compare the Patriots dynasties to the Chiefs dynasty. Rightfully so. Those are the 2 best runs that we've had in the NFL since like 2000. The thing of it is, people always forget that the reason why the Patriots dynasty was so crazy is because like they had to reset in between. Like the first part of the dynasty looked completely different from the last part of the dynasty, right? The first 3 Super Bowls to the last 3 Super Bowls. Obviously there was constant Bill Belichick and Tom Brady and Robert Kraft, but people forget Belichick was a general manager for the Patriots. So he's making all the moves necessary to keep cycling in these players. Like for example, he had like Richard Seymour, Junior Seau, Vince Wilfork, all these guys like at the end of their primes, he shipped them out. And at the time, people were like, what are you doing? These are all pro players. Why are you taking them out? But then they were able to get first round draft picks, draft capital, refill their cap, right? All these things. Like for example, one that comes to mind is like, I think a couple seasons ago, Chris Jones sat out, right? At the beginning of the season because he was like, pay me right now or I'm sitting out. And they were like, okay, fine, we're gonna pay you. Bill Belichick would have been like, all right, bro, you're out of here. Let me get 2 first round draft picks for you. Boom, done deal, you're out of here. Now they got a Super Bowl, right? But now look at them. On the defensive side of the ball, they don't have much. On the offensive side of the ball, they don't have much. Their offensive line is reeling, right? This is the thing. These are the things that separate dynasties, right? Like to me, that was one of the greatest runs we've ever seen because like of the preemptive ability to ship people out that other GMs probably wouldn't do, right? These Hall of Fame players. And the constant is Tom Brady and Belichick. The constant here could be Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. I think that Patrick Mahomes is probably going to give the Kansas City Chiefs the best possible chance to succeed going forward. If he's able to identify and attack defenses pre-snap like Brady was, like Peyton Manning was, this is going to be a very scary season because now I think he understands, okay, I can't be running around in the backfield no more. I have to be the most lean, fit that I've ever been in my life. Eat the right things, all these habits, you know what I'm saying? And I think he really could, you know? I genuinely, because I said it before I made a couple videos on this, I thought that probably Mahomes was going to get like 1 more ring max probably in the rest of it because the rest of the NFL is getting too good, right? Andy Reid is probably on his last wheels. He's 67 years old, I think, right? You know what I'm saying? He's going to leave pretty soon. I think he was going to get 1 ring just off of like championship DNA. But other than that, I thought it was probably going to be slow. But now that he got his ACL tear, I genuinely think that they might go on another run. Like deep runs, because I think if he changes his play style accordingly, guys, he has all the arm talent in the world. He's able to make throws that no other quarterback can make. I think it could be scary. So I genuinely think it's a blessing in disguise. Chiefs fans, you should as well. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. That's the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out. Thank you so much for tuning in.